Hi there. I have a Moonswatch. I said I'd never get one. I don't really like the idea of them. Things that are overhyped in general kind of annoy me, except Rolex maybe. But I didn't actually pay for this. I won it in a giveaway, so that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. But I've got to say, I kind of like it. This is based on the Omega Speedmaster, well, design-wise at least. And unless you've been living under a rock, you'll be aware that the Swatch Group owns Omega, so they can use this brand on their watches. The original Moonwatch, not the Moonswatch, the Moonwatch is about £5,000 or £6,000. It's the watch that went to the moon. Again, if you know anything about watches, you'll know about this, but it's a kind of very iconic, legendary Omega watch. And this is essentially a plastic, disposable, £200 watch that imitates that. Now, fakes are illegal. I don't like fakes. I don't like homages. An homage is essentially a fake, but without the name on it. This could be considered those, except for the fact that Swatch owns Omega, therefore they can use the brand. It's kind of like Volkswagen would be allowed to release an Audi or a Bugatti Veyron and use that badge, use that logo, that label on a car that costs 20,000 quid if they wanted. They'd be quite allowed to do so. Now, when it happened, a lot of people thought this was going to devalue the Omega brand. It does say Omega on it there. It looks like an Omega. I showed a friend and they said, "Oh, blimey, that's nice. That must cost you a couple of grand." But no, if you try it on and you feel it in the hand, you'll be aware that it's a very cheap watch. It's a disposable watch. It's not serviceable. The movement in here, it's a quartz. It's Swiss, but it's a quartz movement, battery powered, and it's a throwaway watch. It's not serviceable. But it's kind of fun. So like I say, I won it in a giveaway, a raffle, I suppose. And I've had it on the wrist for, well, a total of 1 day now, so not that long. But I've kind of grown to like it. Like I say, the original Moonwatch, which this is based very much on, it's got the same kind of case. In fact, it looks very, very similar. If you look at the two side by side, to a layperson, they might genuinely think they're the same watch. This very blatant Omega Speedmaster branding on it does make it look like it's an Omega. But it's not. It's a Swatch with an Omega logo on it. But I kind of like it. So, yeah, I haven't had a chronograph for a while, so that's quite novel. It's got a very uninspiring click compared to a mechanical ETA 7750 chronograph, for example, which is my other experience. But it functions well as a chronograph. It's obviously pretty accurate, what with it being quartz and all. This is the Pluto version, I should say, which there's 11 versions of the Moonswatch, if you didn't know. The 9 planet or 8 planets, and then Pluto, which is a dwarf planet. It was reclassified. And then there's the Sun, and then there's the Moon. So there's 9 planets, including Earth, the Moon, and the Sun. So that's 11 Moonswatches in total. When these came out in 2022, they were very, very hyped. They were only selling in shops. They weren't selling online. People were queuing up outside of Swatch shops all over the world for miles and for hours to get their hands on these. So they were super, super hyped when they first came out. They still aren't sold online, actually. You can still only buy them in store. But as with the nature of all things that kind of get on the hype train, except Rolex perhaps, the hype wears down after a while. And you can now buy these. So they retail at £228. And you can now buy them for about £240 online on eBay. You can probably walk into a Swatch shop and pick it up for retail, $228. Any of these 11 Moonswatches, they're all the same. They just have different colorways, as the term has come to be used. I don't like it very much myself, but that's the term. So colorway. So this is the Pluto version. Yeah, it's kind of fun. So 42mm wide, which is actually bigger than I'd usually wear. And I kind of thought it would be a bit too big for my wrist, to be honest. But maybe it's the fact that it is incredibly light because it's made of plastic. Bioceramic specifically, which is a plant oil mixed with... It's a kind of plastic, basically. Apparently the plant oil from which it's made is very poisonous. So don't eat this. That probably goes for all watches. You shouldn't eat them, any of them. So really light, and the colour... the kind of light case, this white sort of colour, is probably why it wears quite well. 42mm, like I said, would usually be the upper limit of what I'd wear, but I think it wears quite nicely. And honestly, this watch kind of makes me smile, which is what watches should do. Really, they should make you happy. It's fun that it says Omega, but it's not really an Omega. It's kind of throwaway. Because it was so hyped, a lot of watch guys, girls know what it is, and it's it's kind of iconic in its own right, frankly, not just the fact that it looks like a Speedmaster Professional, which is the actual icon, but iconic because Swatch sold 1 million of these in 2022. The marketing is incredible. They've actually just released a new version, well, not a new version, a new collaboration. So this is Swatch, or Omega X Swatch, Omega collaborating with Swatch. They've just released Blancpain 50 Fathoms. Same kind of principle, another plastic unserviceable watch, but it's more like £400 or £500, I think, which is quite a lot for a novelty. But Swatch Group, again, they own Blancpain, so they can do that. And the Blancpain 50 Fathoms is something like a £20,000 watch, or a £20,000 watch, very, very expensive. And again, they've gone and done a cheap version. And I suspect that's going to sell very well, if it hasn't already. I haven't actually been following that one at all. But it's very good marketing from Swatch. Hats off to them. Anything that's good for the Swatch Group is probably good for watch fans who like real watches, or indeed this. And yeah, I mean, it's my only. I've got 2 quartz watches, but they're both G-Shocks, and I don't really think. Well, they are. Everyone's got. A lot of people have got G-Shocks. This is my first kind of non-G-Shock quartz watch for a while, I should say. It ticks, which is weird. It's unusual having a ticking watch, but I really like it. I kind of like the strap. It's got this strange sort of folder. It's very unusual strap, maybe so it can go over a spacesuit. Perhaps maybe that's what it is. It's like a diver extension. The only thing I don't like is this. The buckles here. I prefer it if it were on the other side, because then there'd be kind of less visible bulge. You can get aftermarket straps for these. You can't move the strap because it's kind of bonded, or well, it's just glued, isn't it, together at the pieces here. But you can cut this off. Oh, hang on, no, there are spring bars. I don't know why I hadn't thought about that. Okay, cool. I'm going to take the spring bars out and I'm going to flip it around and then have this on the other side. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Cool. Okay, I'm learning. That's it. Quick and dirty review of the Moonswatch. You've probably seen thousands of these because everyone and their dog has one, if not every single one of the 11 Moonswatches. People collect all of them. It's quite a way to spend £2,000 or £3,000, but fair enough. Bit of fun. It makes you smile. It's going to be more accurate than any of my mechanical watches. I don't think it's water resistant, which is unusual because even my JLC dress watch was water resistant. It does say, but not to any distance. I'm not even going to wash my hands with this. It would just be annoying to ruin it. I mean, the fact that it's inexpensive doesn't replace the fact that it's, it's a £250 watch. You don't want to damage it. But yeah, bit of fun. That's my Moonswatch Pluto. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for your time.